Hello and welcome back. Today is Thursday, January 8th. I have your 4 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the page. We get a 4-game NBA slate here today. We get them pretty early on and then one late night game. We get one NBA TV game, and that's the Bulls versus Heat. Crazy to think that the Bulls are on primetime, but here we are. But we get some fun matchups overall, I would have to say. The biggest spread of the day is 5.5, and the closest spread of the day is 7.5. My bad. And then the closest spread of the day is 3.5. So it's a pretty great day of NBA action ahead of us. First game on the slate: Indiana versus Charlotte. Battle of the tanking teams out east. This is a tank commander game for the Pacers. Pacers are just trying to bottom out here, where Charlotte, they're trying to get in the play-in, and Charlotte's actually a pretty fun team. So this would be a fun League Pass game. It's the early game here at 6 o'clock. 234 over under. Charlotte 3.5 point favorite here at home. In this one, no Ben Mathurin, I would assume, in this one still. And I think Charlotte will forever have Brandon Miller and Miles Bridges be questionable all day. We'll probably know more news around noon with that. Miami versus Chicago. This is the primetime game. Highest over under on the day, 241 over under. Miami 7.5 point favorite here on the road. And they should just dominate the Bulls. The Bulls are just god fucking awful. They're just really, really bad. Tyler Herro, he should be playing in this game. I know it's a back-to-back, but he should be playing in this one. But interesting matchup to say the least. Bulls will probably, it's going to be a pace game, and the Bulls are just not going to keep up with the Heat's pace. We got Cleveland versus Minnesota. This is the League Pass game of the day. This is probably the best game of the day. Battle of the shooting guards. Anthony Edwards versus Donovan Mitchell. Which shooting guard are you picking going forward? And this matchup's going to show. And then the worst part about this is these two teams play on Saturday. So if you're wanting to take Anthony Edwards is horrible at home. Not horrible, but way worse at home than he is on the road. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Anthony Edwards on the road before I take his over on this one. But Battle of the Shooting Guards should be a great game. Should be a great League Pass game. And then Dallas versus Utah. This game is another high over-under matchup. 240 over-under. Dallas 5.5 point favorite in this one. That's the late night game. Is Anthony Davis going to be playing? Is he about to get traded for this team? And we got to talk about Trae Young. Trae Young got traded yesterday to Washington Wizards. I know we're done with the preview there. It's the Wizards Jazz. Jazz coming off of an overtime game last night, so I think their legs might be a little heavier. So I think Dallas can easily win this one. But watch Utah surprise us. Or little Keontae that could have a massive game and a great matchup. But Trae Young was traded yesterday. Trae Young, it was weird watching the Atlanta Hawks game, Hawks-Pelicans game, because Trae Young was in the building, and they announced it during the game, and he just was high-fiving and kissing babies every single time out. They kept showing him on the sidelines. And the trade, I would feel the happiest for Corey Crisper on the Wizards. He gets to go from the Wizards team that's been god-awful his whole career to a fun Hawks team where Jalen Johnson's going to hit him a lot of times. So I think Corey Crisper is going to have a great game. Great, out of all of them, he'll probably be the best player, not best player, but like, nice breath of fresh air for them. And Trae Young, he gets to go on the Wizards. Him and Trey Johnson will chuck up logo shots forever and ever and ever. And I'm excited for Trae Young. He gets to play with a brand new team. His assists will go crazy every single time. Defense won't be played in Washington anytime soon. But logo threes, him and Trey Johnson will just continue to chuck up shots. But I got 4 brand new plays here that I absolutely love. And before we jump into today's plays, we got to recap yesterday's action. And yesterday in the NBA and the day before, I've been god fucking awful. I'm not even running from it. This has been horrible. Only play I'm pissed about is Derek Queen. Derek Queen was at 18 points, rebounds. 18 or 16. He was at 16 points, rebounds with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and then he gets pulled for Messi, and Messi plays the whole fucking game. So does Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson even got back into the game. The game got close again by like 10 points. Close. Never was truly close, but they just yanked Derek Queen. They even put Jeremiah Fears back out there, and Fears was having a worse game. Derek Queen was getting boards like no other, but man, oh man, that one just was so fucking frustrating. Played his fewest minutes since early November. Played 19 minutes. He got yanked for the last 17 minutes of the game. It was just nasty, nasty work, and just like my other play. Scotty Barnes, hand up, was god-awful. I was going off of the projections. Projections showed him at 18. I felt amazing, or 17. I felt amazing about it, and then he fell flat on his face. So did Devin Booker, and so did Kevin Durant. All 3 of those were just god awful plays. Should have just done Kevin Durant points, rebounds. That probably would have been the better thing. Could have even done Stephen Curry. It was a great superstar day, and I took I took the wrong superstars. Manas Buzelis, he had a great game, but man, I've been god awful. This is not fun recording and waking up early and doing this just to fucking find winners. But here I am once again. I'm falling into pieces. Can't deny it. Can't pretend. And here we go. Brand new day, fresh start. It's a fun slate of games, smaller slate of games. And let's just jump into it. For my first play of the day, going to be in this Indiana-Charlotte game. I got to play for every single game. So if I take one of your plays, feel nervous about it. Feel very nervous about it. It's because I am been horrible these last few days. I would love to have more than a few consecutive, three consecutive winning days last week, but it was still god awful. Still didn't make up for the last few weeks. This has just been horrible, horrible, and I've moved on. Let's just jump into it. For my first play of the day in this Pacers-Charlotte game, 234 over under. Charlotte 3.5 point favorite here. Kon Knuppel, he struggles at home, but I think he bounces back at this one. He's coming off one of his worst games in a while last night. He has a good matchup here. He's very consistent overall. They dropped his point total from 1 point down, and I'm going to jump all over it. So give me Kon Knuppel to get 18 plus points coming minus 134. On DraftKings, Indiana, these last 15 games allowed the 10th most points to the small forward position. Indiana, these last 7 games allowed the 7th most points to the small forward position. And the last time these two, the last time these two teams played, he had a 28-point game. He looked incredible the last time these two teams played. I know the graphic maybe says Charlotte. I mean to say Indiana as I'm writing over it. I had 28 points in the most recent matchup here. But we've been taking Kon Knuppel on back-to-backs. Back-to-backs all season. Kon has been great. 83% hit rate on this number on back-to-backs, averaging 19.6 points per game. And back-to-backs at home, he's actually pretty well. 75% hit rate at home on back-to-backs, averaging 17.8, 17, 38, 17.8 points at home these last few games. But he's been pretty good on back-to-backs and especially home back-to-backs. So I'm not worried with this being one. Over 8 for his last 10, averaging 20 points per game. He is as consistent as they come. Coming off of his worst game since Orlando, and the next game he followed it up with a 20-point game in the next game. So I think I feel pretty good about Kon Knuppel overall. Small forwards versus Indiana. Silva 10, Keldon Johnson 16, Kevin Durant 30, Yami Yaquez 28, Kuzma 15, Jaylen Brown 31, Champagnie 14, Paul George 23, and DeMar 23. I haven't projected here at 20 plus points here. Indiana, they've been struggling these last few games on the 10th most points, and then these last 7 games, the 7th most points to the small forward position. These last 5 games, Kon has had 20, 26, 18, 23, and again, coming off of his worst game, 11-point game, but he took 17 shots in that one, so I feel good about him. He just had a bad shooting night, and I think today he makes it up in a good matchup. Indiana, they're tanking. This game should be a fun matchup on Tankathon early on, so give me Kon Knuppel to score 18 plus points, coming minus 134. On DraftKings, jumping to my second play here in this Chicago-Miami game. I might fuck around and just do a same-game parlay for this one. This game is a high over-under game, so definitely keep an eye out in the comment section down below. I'm thinking about doing a same-game parlay for this one because Bulls, man, they struggle versus center position. I really want to take Khalil Ware, but Ware's number has dropped weirdly. It opened up at 21, and now it's at 19.5, and that kind of scares me. I think Ware should have a good game. If he can drop down one more point, I think Ware will even be a better play at 19 points rebounds. But I'm moving to the shooting guard on the Miami Heat. I'm a little weary with the Bulls players here. Modest's numbers climbing up. Vooch is just always Mr. Inconsistent. He's been very solid. Been very solid these last few games, but every time I take him, it's probably the worst game of his life. Overall, Vooch has been great rebounding-wise, so maybe rebounds might be a nice pivot for this one, but I'm going with the shooting guard on this Miami Heat team. He returned from injury, and that's Tyler Herro. I think Tyler Herro has a great game here, so give me Tyler Herro to score 20-plus points, coming minus 138. On FanDuel, the Bulls, they allow the 3rd most points and the 4th most threes to the shooting guard position. The Bulls, these last 15 games, allowed the 8th most points and the 5th most threes to the shooting guard position. Then the Bulls, these last 7 games, allowed the 7th most points and the most threes to the shooting guard position. And Tyler Herro has dominated this Bulls team. 5 for his last 5 games, averaging 27.2 points per game. With the last 2 games against the Bulls, he's had 30 and 38 points. Granted, he is returning from injury. And he's gotten over 4 for his last 5, but the last game he just played, he had 17 points in his returning game. His over-under was at 16.5, so he did get the over in that one. Played 28 minutes in his returning game, so I feel great with him. He played normal minutes overall. And Tyler Herro, when he plays 25-plus minutes in a game this season, he gets this number 86% of the time, averaging 22 points per game. And now he gets this Bulls team that just suck. Bulls allowed the 22nd most straightaway threes, where Tyler Herro takes nearly 30% of his shots from. Chicago versus shooting guards have had allowed some massive games. Javonte Green 11, Simons 27, Peyton Pritchard 21, Brandon Miller 22, Black 18, Poole 26, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker 21. I have him projected here at 22 plus points here. Going to FanDuel, you have to go to like that 20 plus point mark, but I think he can easily get to 20 plus points in this game. 241 over under. He played normal minutes returning from injury, took so many shots, took the second most shots on this Heat team, and I think against the Bulls, there's no one that can stop him. It's going to be Tyler Herro to score 20 plus points, coming in minus 138 on FanDuel. Jumping to my third play here in this Cleveland-Minnesota game. As I said up top, I'm going to be taking Anthony Edwards on Saturday when he's on the road. At Cleveland, they do struggle against shooting guard position, so he is very good in that one. But Anthony Edwards on the road at home is very different. And same thing with Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is better on the road than he is at home. And Donovan Mitchell, returning from injury, 3 straight 30-plus point games, is coming into this matchup with 3 days off. So give me Donovan Mitchell to go over 29.5 points, coming minus 110. On DraftKings, Minnesota is 30th versus the pick and roll ball handler, and that's where Donovan Mitchell gets nearly 30% of his points in this action. So he's going to take Rudy Gobert all the way up to the court. He's going to be calling up for screens all game, and he's going to be slashing in the lane like Donovan Mitchell does. He's gone over 3 for his last 5. With the last 3 games, he's had 34, 33, and 30. And then he's coming in this matchup well rested. He's coming in this game with 3 days off. Overall, when last 2 games, he's played 2 games this season where he's had this many days of rest in between. He dropped 37 and 42 in those games and those matchups. So we love that coming in this game well rested. He's gotten this over 1 for his last 2 against the Wolves, averaging 29.5 points per game, having 36 and 23 in the most recent game. But that 36-point game was on the road, and he's great on the road. 57% hit rate on the road, averaging 29.3 points per game. Again, most recent game versus Minnesota in the Target Center. He had 36 plus points in that game. Minnesota is 20th in free throws allowed, so Donovan Mitchell can easily get fouled and go to the free throw line a lot because Minnesota, they foul a lot, as it shows. Last 10 games, Minnesota allows the 21st most straightaway threes, where Donovan Mitchell takes nearly 40% of his shots from. So those 2K hot zones, these last 10 games, they're allowing the 21st most straightaway threes, so we love that. And these last 10 games, they allow the 15th most points at the net, where Donovan Mitchell gets 31% of his points. So 2 areas where Donovan Mitchell looks good. He has a nice action part about this with, again, Minnesota's 30th versus pick and roll ball handlers, where Donovan Mitchell gets 30% of his points in this action. I have him projected here at 32 plus points in this game. Some shooting guards have had some big games. Tyler Herro hit his over on 17. Luke Kennard, 15. Io, 10. Cam Thomas had 30. And Tim Hardaway Jr. had 19. I think Donovan Mitchell has a great game here. Battle of the shooting guards. So give me Donovan Mitchell to go over 29.5 points, coming minus 110. On DraftKings, to jump into my fourth and final play of the day. Going to be in this Dallas-Utah matchup, 241 over under. And Cooper Flagg, he has been struggling just like me these last few games. And I think today, just like me today, we'll have a great day. So give me Cooper Flagg to go over 20.5 points, coming minus 125. On DraftKings, he has an amazing matchup. The Jazz, they allow the most points to the small forward position. The Jazz, they allow the second most points and the 9th most threes these last 15 games. Then the Jazz, these last 7 games, allow the 3rd most points and the 5th most threes. So overall, he has an amazing matchup. Last time these 2 teams played, he had 42 points in that matchup. We love that. He's been struggling, though. Only over 1 for his last 5, averaging 16 points per game. With the last 5 games, he's had 23, 15, 12, 10. And then he had 20 points against the Kings overall. So he's been having a shooting slump. But last game, he was right on the hook on with this one. Last 5 games, Utah has allowed the 17th most points at the net, where Cooper Flagg takes nearly 40% of his shots from. So he's a nice little 2K hot zone coming into this game, which I love to talk about. Utah is 27th versus transition scoring, where Cooper Flagg gets 23% of his points from. So overall, this should be a great game for Cooper Flagg. Utah versus small forwards of lots of massive games here. Going in reverse order, the farthest game recently, Cooper Flagg, 42. LeBron James, 28. Bing, 32. G.G. Jackson, 18. Keldon Johnson, 27. Jay Walsh, 6. Kawhi, 45. Chris Murray, 10. And Kisco, man, totally butchered that on the Portland Trailblazers, 14. I have him projected here at 23 plus points here. Cooper Flagg, I'm going with both former Duke players here today, so it's going to be Cooper Flagg to go over 20.5 points, coming in minus 125 on DraftKings. And those are my 4 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, let me know down below what's your best bet. Shout out to you, Josh O. You've been giving me steady winners in the comment section, and I appreciate you because I have been god fucking awful. It sucks. I love talking NBA action with you guys, but I hate having to recap horrible fucking days like these last few days. And even last week, even early last week, I was god fucking awful. But hey, today's a brand new day. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm going to keep smiling all day. Hopefully having a wonderful Thursday. Keep on smiling, and I will see you in the next one.